The Westingame won the Newbery Award in 1979. So if any kids are watching this just to get out of reading the book for school, that is naughty. Naughty.
Argo Font Book Review. Argo Font Book Review.
This review was commissioned through Patreon. Patreon! Please give me your money. Barney Northrup sends out 6 invitations to various families, offering them a cheap room at the exclusive Sunset Towers. All of them accept the offer, completely unaware that they are being set up as pawns in a mystery game. They were all hand-picked for the Westingame, except one. One is a mistake. So let's go through today's contestants. The main focus is on the Wexler family. Dr. Jake is a podiatrist who secretly runs a gambling business. He's a funny, light-hearted guy. His wife Grace is the total opposite. She is a selfish social climber who regularly insults everyone else. Her pride and joy is her perfect daughter Angela, who is engaged to Dr. Denton Deere. Dr. Denton Deere, try saying that 10 times fast. Grace openly neglects her other daughter, Turtle. As in, Turtle is forced to live in a closet. Also, she's forced to be called Turtle. The Wexlers are horrible parents. Next is the Who family. James Who is a grumpy man who runs a failing restaurant. His wife is from China and can't speak English. His son, Doug, is a high school track star. If you're having a hard time remembering everyone at this point, too bad. I'm only halfway through the list of characters. There are a lot of characters. Let me go through the others quickly. Theo Theodorakis, the prankster. Chris Theodorakis, the handicapped birdwatcher. Flora Baumbach, the sad dressmaker. Sandy McSuthers, the friendly doorman. Sidel Pulaski, the overlooked secretary. Otis Amber, the stupid delivery man. J.J. Ford, a female judge. And Erica Crow, a religious obsessive. On Halloween, smoke comes out of the Westing house for the first time in 15 years. Sandy bets Turtle that she can't go inside without being scared. Turtle breaks into the manor and finds Sam Westing's corpse, along with a note that reads, "If I am found dead in bed." Now that's just freaky. Westing's estate is worth $200 million, and everyone is invited to hear Westing's will. Westing claims he was murdered by one of them. They are each given $10,000, divided into teams of 2, and ordered to find the killer. Each team gets a set of clues, which are random words like for, plane, grain, shed. They all come to wrong conclusions about what their clues mean. Like, one group thinks it means under a car hood, while another thinks it means build a chemical formula. Those aren't even kind of close to a culprit's name. Surprisingly, only 2 people are smart enough to try to get all the other group's clues. Grace asks her daughters to tell her their clues. They say no, and Grace gives up immediately. What a quitter. Sidel gets about 20 of the clues from the various groups, and she writes down Westing's will in Polish, so only she can know exactly what it said. Sidel is clearly the smartest person here. Turtle is paired with Flora. She adopts Flora as a replacement mother, while Flora adopts her as a replacement daughter. Turtle thinks her clues refer to the stock market, and she becomes obsessed with trading stocks. She gets in trouble at school when she's listening to stocks on the radio instead of paying attention to her teacher. The Wexlers and the Whos are paired up. Jake teaches Mrs. Who English, while Grace tries to rebrand the restaurant as Who's on First. Mr. Who decides they're both idiots. Judge Ford hires a private investigator to check the other competitors. She learns Crow is Westing's ex-wife. An old newspaper article says Crow's best friend is Sybil Pulaski, and that is Westing's mistake. He got Sidel Pulaski instead of Sybil Pulaski. It figures that the only good competitor is the one who wasn't supposed to be here. Doug wins a track competition, Denton finds a cure for Chris's disease, and Theo follows Otis everywhere. It turns out Otis is secretly meeting with Crow, and they give meals to the homeless together. Theo feels awful for suspecting them. There's a mini-mystery as someone sets off bombs inside the building. One bomb hits Angela in the face at her bridal shower. She is injured so badly, the wedding has to be delayed. The bomber ends up being Angela. She purposely bombed herself to get out of the wedding. That's a little extreme, Angela. Maybe you should try talking to your fiancé first. That's a lot easier than inventing a mad bomber. Turtle tries to cover for Angela by setting off a fourth bomb. She is caught and sent to Judge Ford. Turtle confesses she's the one who found Westing's corpse. When she says Westing looked just like wax, Ford realizes the corpse is a fake. Westing is still alive, and he's one of the contestants in disguise. Drama. The teams are brought back to Westing Manor to give their answers. Everyone is wrong. At this point, they put all the clues together. The words are the lyrics to America the Beautiful, and there are some letters missing. The missing letters spell out Birth Erica Crow. At this point, Crow kills again. Sandy dies from poisoning, and Crow is arrested. The contestants review the mystery. It's revealed Otis Amber is secretly a private investigator hired by Judge Ford, Westing, and Northrop. He investigated all of the contestants except Sandy. Why not Sandy? As our heroes deduce, Sandy McSuthers was Sam Westing in disguise. Great plot twist. Also, highly implausible. Sandy has 6 children, 2 grandchildren, and got into a public fight with Westing 20 years ago. Either all of that is fake, or Westing set up this fake personality decades in advance. Turtle realizes that Westing also disguised himself as Northrop. He was Northrop McSouthers. Westing figures he must have an East personality, so she goes to see Mr. Eastman, the chairman of the board. He congratulates her on solving the Westing game. In the years that follow, Crow marries Otis, Siddell marries her boss, and Grace leads Who's Restaurant to success. Doug wins the Olympics. Angela and her fiancé break up, only to get back together 5 years later. Turtle marries Theo and takes over Westing's company. The end. Post-book follow-up. I read this book over 20 years ago, and believe it or not, I remembered 2 of the big plot twists. I can't remember anyone who was in my grade that year, but I remember a book I read. Thanks, brain. But even knowing ahead of time that the clues were from America the Beautiful, I still wasn't able to solve the mystery on my own. Why? The book doesn't give the readers all the clues. 5 of them are deliberately kept from the reader until the end, where they gather at Westing Manor. Yeah, you could solve the mystery at that point, but who's going to put the book down during a high-drama scene to flip back 100 pages and write out all the clues on a separate piece of paper? No one! The clues are explained a mere 8 pages later, so it's much easier to keep reading. I personally would have given all the clues at the start of the mystery. It bugs me that one set of clues shows up at the end, because the back of the book makes it seem like readers should try to solve the mystery puzzle themselves. Another little thing that bugs me is Judge Ford getting reports on all the characters. There's a different section for each report, so the whole thing is split up over many chapters. I would have preferred seeing all of them at once, or at least put into larger groups. In general, the book is made up of short 1 to 3 page scenes. I think it's done well, but some readers got confused. It's hard to keep track of 16 characters. It's harder when the book switches among them quickly. I completely understand that complaint. From what I can tell, there are 16 characters as a metaphor for chess, which is played with 16 pieces. Clever, but I don't think the metaphor is good enough to justify such a large cast. The book would work just as well with fewer characters. There's a subplot about Viola Westing, who drowned to death the day before her wedding. Viola looks just like Angela, her dressmaker was Flora, and her high school sweetheart is Theo's dad. This subplot more or less disappears when Angela's wedding is cancelled. In retrospect, it was a bit of a stretch. Like, Flora made a dress for this woman 20 years ago. Why is that enough to warrant making Flora a contestant in the Westing game? Same for the Theodorakis brothers. So what if their father knew Viola Westing? That happened before they were born. It would make more sense if Mr. Theodorakis was the contestant, not his sons. Overall, this is a cleverly written book with some interesting characters. I guess you could say it's Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, but for kids. I give the Westing game an 8 out of 10.